Hi guys, good morning. Let's give it a minute for some people to join. Hi Ray. Thank you so much, Ray. My anchor point. It was definitely an eventful week. Hi Betty June, Brandon Lee Taylor. Brandon Lee Taylor. Lee means to me in Hebrew. Brandon Lee. Chase Freedom, Aleph. Hi Aleph. The key to it all. Hey Doc. Good morning, Doc, with the Long Island accent. Hey Irma. All right. We got our people. We got our crew. So let's see what today is. I literally have no idea. Today is June 19th, 2025. Hi, Hiroko. And we're smack in the middle, you guys. We'll eternally be smack in the middle. We'll never leave the middle. That's Kabbalistic. That's a Kabbalistic reference. We're smack in the middle of... Hi, Jana. Thanks for finding us. Of the greatest story Hashem ever told. And it's only getting juicier by the minute. Super juicy. My last night in Israel. Smack in the middle, Chase. Hi, Sydney Ryan. Special lady. And Des, special daughter of special lady. I was walking in Israel with my husband, and I always get super sad. And at my last night in Israel, I always feel so forlorn that I have to leave. And I was just looking into shop windows, and right at the bottom of Ben Yehuda Street, smack in the middle of town, right by the square. You guys have been there. That's like the most iconic place where people play music. I looked in the window and I saw a ring with a big fat face of a lion on it. And I knew who that was for. And I went and I got it. Hi, Kim Johansson. And this was a week and a half prior to us knowing that there was going to be a final operation. This is it, guys. Saving Israel for last. Taking out the Erev, taking out the enemy, Gogu Magog, whatever you want to call it, Q plan enacted. And of all the infinite possibilities and the pluripotent field of life, of all the possibilities, of all the possible names for this operation, what do they call it? What do they call it? It's ridiculous. I'm like, Hashem, you're being crazy. They call it Operation Rising Lion. Yakum Kalavi. Ka'arya Misnaseh. Bibi Netanyahu writes it on a note and puts the kfittel in the kotel. I'm like, Hashem, this is over the top. Because we know the name of our Mashiach, which has been hidden, one of the 7 things hidden from before creation, is Yira Ha'ari. Yira the lion. He's a lion. And he's rising. He's most definitely rising. And thank goodness I am privy to some behind the scenes details that one day will be public and all of you guys will know. That Hashem has placed in front of his eyes to reinforce that he is the Ari. He most definitely is the Ari. Even Shlomo Malcho confirmed it. This Ari that nobody will pay attention to, that garment found that one-liner. Oso Ha'ari, from Shlomo Malcho. Oso Ha'ari. Yeah. Em Kalavi, thank you, Betty. Em Kalavi Yakum Ka'ari Yisnaseh. Wow. If like a young lion cub, I think that's one. Lavi is either a female lion or a lion cub. It's got a few translations. Like an Iri, like a full-grown lion, he will be victorious. He will rise. He will rule. Yes, David Lesov, Yura is the rising lion. And only we know it right now. Small group. Ooh, 613. Yeah, so I got him that ring as kind of like a foreshadowing, I think, of the separation. That was the gift I brought back for him. What else did I want to share with you guys? It says in Vayikra, Leviticus 26:12. 26 for Yod Kei Vav Kei, 12 for the Shvatim. That's how I remember it. V'salachti b'sochacham, and I will walk among you, Hashem says. Salachti b'sochacham. What's the pshat? What does Rashi say? And Yura has told me Rashi was a tremendous Kabbalist. Hasalachti b'sochacham, I will walk among you. Rashi says, Atayel, I will stroll, leisurely, casually, calmly. Atayel imachem began Eden. I will stroll with you began Eden. And I heard Rev Berg say, Gan Eden, it's not a place, it's a consciousness. It's a tree of life consciousness. It's remembering Kabbalah, Zohar, the construct Torah, the mother's Torah. Do not forsake your mother's Torah. Atayel imachem ke'achad mekem began Eden, because he's going to remind us of the Zohar. He's going to be the only one that could teach the Zohar. And if you've ever heard his classes, you will understand what that means. I have about 50 of them on my channel saved. Pick any one and listen to it, and you'll understand that he's the only one that can decode, deconstruct, decipher, explain, pull apart Zohar, an impossible to understand document. He told me he reads it easily, as if he wrote it, as if it's part of him, as if it's part of his own mind. Atayel imachem began Eden ke'achad mikem. I'm going to stroll with you in the consciousness called Gan Eden, like I'm one of you. V'lo mizdazim mimeni. Mizdazim. And you will not tremble. You will not short circuit. You will not quake from me. Although when I was near him, I was low level trembling and quaking, but I did not short circuit, thank God. Some people do short circuit from being around him. There's many stories of people, yeah, I've heard a bunch of people, hey Zeke, as if he wrote it himself. Exactly, Zeke. It's almost as if he wrote it himself. And he came back to this planet to teach it to us, to restore our Gan Eden consciousness in Or Hagan. In Or Hagan, in Oregon. We're going to read today from the Torah Social Mashiach, the Torah of Atzilus that he came to bring, brand new Torah, still being formatted, still being edited, he told me it's still kind of in its rough stages. When you're bringing down something new, first you bring it down chunk style. He brought it down like a chunk, and it keeps getting revised and revised in each book that he writes. Takes time. Something brand new to this realm, this brand new light, this hidden light. So we're going to read that today. And hi, Shauna. And we're going to see the prerequisite for Mashiach being revealed. It can't be a one-man job. No. It's got to be that what he teaches, we incorporate in our real life. It doesn't stay in our head. It doesn't stay in a text. His teaching starts walking and talking and breathing and living. That we see the body of the Atik, the very first emanation, inside every single person. You look at somebody's hand and you're like, oh my God, that's the hand of the Atik. You look at your husband's hand, your friend's hand, the stranger's hand. This is what we're going to read about today. Look at my husband's beard. I'm like, that's exactly like the format of the beard of the Atik, of the Ancient One. And you become in awe, and you no longer have to hold tight at all to the other lower forms of Torah. Once you have the tree of life and you are machazikim ba, you are grabbing onto that thing for dear life. The tree of Tovara, which is the Mishnah, which is the tree of the permitted and the prohibited, where we're constantly all day long gnashing our heads trying to figure out 30,000 different kashrus symbols on food packages and all the other minutia, the micro minutia that has become the hyper focus of Judaism, of how to outdo each other in keeping the laws and the laws and the laws. It's become out of control. We can let that go. Once we focus on how we can see Hashem in each other, in each other's physicality, that Hashem, the first emanation of Hashem, was the Atik Yomen, was the Word Man, was the body of the Ancient One, the Ancient Holy One. And we, in this body, are exact reflections. And the reading today will get into the details. But once we focus on that and seeing the kavod of Hashem, which is the 22 letters and the 10 sfirot, kavod equaling 32. Hope I'm getting that right. So once we see the glory of Hashem in everybody, everything, this animal is a side partsuf. Like once you see the world and remember the construct Torah, see the spheros everywhere, see in people's bodies and face, tree on top of tree. Like that's a tree on top of tree. Like my face is the tree of the face and the keter of the tree of the body. And once you understand these concepts, it's literally everywhere. And you're seeing it and you're living it and you're experiencing it and you just can't leave the state of awe. And you can't leave the state of respect and honor, zelazah, one to the other. This is how we change the world. Yura told me also yesterday that the only form of unconditional love is really Hashem. Like most 99.9% of love on this earth is contingent on something. But once we see the Hashem in the other person, we switch to unconditional love. That's the only anchor point for unconditional love in this realm, is to actually know the details, the pratim, that Yira is coming to teach us in the physicality, how Hashem is showing up in the physicality of this other person. It's really a genius plan. Hashem emanated himself into a form, and that form transmits all the way down the tree of life into this form, into your form. And once we recognize that divinity that has chained down into this realm, we will look at each other that we're all Hashem, and that will burst forth unconditional love on this planet like it's never seen before. Kim Johansson. Let me see who else is here. Attila Karksai. John 13:7. Who else? Okay, so what else did I want to do? I wanted to play for you guys a short video. I was sending some links to Yura this week, and we both focused in on the exact same 3 minutes. He brought it up to me. I'm like, I just screen recorded that exact segment. So we were on the same page with weeding out the most important kernel. I'm going to play it for you guys. This is Rabbanit K. Sarah Cohen speaking on Tisha B'Av and saying Mashiach, she knows it too, Mashiach is walking among us.
When there is no kavod, no honor that we offer one another, there is no redemption. You know what else we learn from this? It means that we could be staring at Mashiach boldly in the eyes. We could know his name.
Know his name.
We could know where he lives and bump into him on the street. And at the end of the day, if there's no kavod, and if no honor is being given, Mashiach cannot redeem us. Shelo nahagu kavod ze lazeh. And the king is somebody you serve, especially if that king is the Melech HaMashiach, is the Mashiach. Wow. Now if you think about it, it's very frightening, because today we are living in an era where the Rabbanim are telling us that Mashiach is living among us. We can feel that we are very close to a final redemption, and that Mashiach is just a footstep away. Mashiach is walking among us. The Rabbanim are telling us that we are very close to being redeemed. And yet, in spite of the fact that we can look Mashiach clearly in the face, it still won't help. We could know what he looks like, where he lives, and what his name is. But according to Rabbi Akiva, if there is no kavod, if there is no respect between us, the redemption cannot manifest. You understand what I'm telling you? You understand what I'm telling you? When will all this pain and suffering end? Mashiach is here. He's so close. Can't anybody try to maybe give him the great shofar that he can blow and end this miserable?
Okay, this was the moment I freaked out when she said, can't somebody give him a shofar? Because when I went out to Oregon in January, I brought Rabbeinu a gift then also. And I remember standing in the Judaica store on Central Avenue right here in the Five Towns. And I was like, what the hell do I bring Mashiach? Like, what on earth? What gift? And I'm walking around aimlessly. I'm like, Hashem, I need help here. And Hashem had me look up, like seriously, in that moment when I asked for help, I looked up and I saw the section of shofrot. And I walked up to the guy in the store and I said, which is the best one you have here? And he came over. I'm like, if you were giving one of these shofars to Mashiach, which one would you give? I love messing with people like that. I'm like, which one would you give to Mashiach? And he says to me something funny. He goes, Mashiach would probably just rip it off the head of a sheep. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to go down that way. So he said to me, this one right here. And he pointed to this really beautiful one. And I bought it, and I bought a stand with it, and I gave it to Yura when I went out there. And I hope he'll use it one day soon.
Galut already. Why are we still sitting in exile amid all these tzarot, all these troubles? Mashiach is here. And yet so many people are in such a great deal of pain. So many are alone, and they feel dejected, discouraged, and without hope. Why? Says Rabbi Akiva, in my generation, I revealed to the people who Mashiach was, what his name was. I pointed to him in a crowd and I announced who he was, and he still could not complete the redemption because it's not up to the Mashiach. It's up to you. It's up to Am Yisrael. If there is kavod, if you honor one another properly, there will be a redemption.
Yep, that is definitely what it comes down to. And it's so funny because I always feel Rabbi Akiva vibes from Aleph. And it's funny that in this generation, he was the first one to point to him and say, there's your Mashiach. That's his name. It's history on repeat. Yes, it is. Hi, Des. Okay, let's go to the reading today and learn about how we could recognize Hashem in each other and get to this point where the unconditional love for humanity, one to the other, spreads like wildfire. Let's go back to the drive and let's get out of here. Torah Shel Mashiach. Okay. Chase, what page are we on? I forgot already. We did this. We did that. Okay, here we go. Page 44. Who's ready? Let me check on you guys. You guys ready? Yes, David Lassof. Aleph Mem Shin is the doorway to redemption, for sure. Okay, let's make this a little bigger. Okay. Okay. Now, the Supreme Emanator, the Ma'atzil Baruch Hu, as Garment taught me from his translation, many translations. Now, the Ma'atzil Baruch Hu, it's another way to call Hashem, the Supreme Emanator, decreed that the eye should see the light, that your eye in your head socket should see the light. And he patterned its form after the restriction of that light. Okay, guys, he patterned the form of your eyeball after the restriction, the symptom of his light. Do you understand that your eye is in the pattern of the symptom? That by means your eye should behold the light. Do you get it? You get how genius Hashem is? Now, the Matzil Baruch Hu, I'm reading it again, decreed that the eye, your eyeball, should see the light. And he patterned the eye's form the way that your eye is after the restriction, the symptom of that exact light that Hashem wants us to behold. That this means your light has the capability and capacity to behold the light. As it is written, Elohim saw the light. Vayar Elohim et haor. Et is the aleph through taf. And the light is carried on the letters aleph through taf. And your eye is what sees the letters and sees the light. Okay, it's looking like an eyeball already. Okay, here you have your sclera, which is the white of the eye. You have the color of the eye. The circular muscles of the iris contracted, causing a constricted pupil. Oh, wow. And the radial muscles of the iris contracted, causing a dilated pupil. That's so interesting. That when the symptom is bigger, the heart spark is smaller, And when the tzimtzum is smaller, the hard spark is bigger. Oh, there has to be a reason for that, you guys. Somebody think about that one. The supernal emanator, the Ma'atzil Baruch Hu, designed it according to the nature of his own light, which is that supernal upper eye, which is the single eye of Hashem, being the surrounding endless restriction and hard spark, the Ein Sof, Or. Okay? That's Hashem's upper eye is constructed with those three parts. And these three parts are these three are the secret of the white of the eye, the iris, in which is found the color of the eye, and the pupil, which is found the hard spark. Okay, Hashem's eyeball is constructed similar to our eyeball. And all of this is so that man may behold the light with his eye, as the endless himself beheld the light. And so it is written, on that day, they will see eye to eye. Woof! Can't wait for that day. The term Es Ha'or has the value of 613. Okay, so what is this light that we're seeing? The Aleph through Taf Ha'or. It's hinting to the 248 spiritual bones and 365 aspects of the spiritual flesh. Okay, so this light that Hashem's talking about are this flesh and bones that we're going to see in each other and see the divinity in each other's physicality. And that's why our bodies will teach our souls. That's the prophecy. The body will come to teach the soul. Because inside your body is hidden every secret of divinity. For this was the light that was beholden. The secret of the supernal man of the Ancient of Days. Okay, the very first emanation of Hashem. The first thing that he wanted as a representation of his own self. Okay, the supernal man of the Ancient of Days, which chains all the way down the tree of life into our physical form. We are the avatar, the ultimate destination, the actuality from all the potentiality above us. We are the physical actuality of the emanation of Hashem. And we're the Ratzon of Hashem, which makes us the sweet spot in all the realms. Because everybody will come to learn what we are once our DNA gets activated and once our brain capacity goes all the way. We're going to be the highest representation, and everybody will learn what is Hashem from us. Regarding the eye, Hashem divided it into 3 columns. The white, this gets crazy. The white of the eye, in the secret of the right. The yellow when your eyeball is sick, in the center column, and the red when your eye gets strained. So your eye only ever displays these 3 colors, representing the 3 kavim, the 3 columns of the tree of life. Wow. Crazy, you guys. Page 46. The Zohar states regarding Mashiach that 22 letters were flying in the air, and no one could understand them except for Mashiach Besagi, Betorach Sagi, with great difficulty. These 22 letters refer to the 22 aspects of the respiratory system. Nasal, turbinate, epiglottis, pharynx, tertiary bronchus, secondary bronchus, horizontal fissure, lower or inferior lobe bronchial, diaphragm, terminal bronchial, nasal cavity, vestibule of the nose, oral cavity, larynx, trachea, upper or superior lobe of the lung, left or primary principal, bronchus, oblique, fissure, respiratory bronchial, alveolus, alveolar duct, alveolar sac. 22 parts. These 22 letters refer to the 22 aspects of the respiratory system. The emanator formed within the Atik. 22 aspects for the air. And how did this translate to in the world of actuality? In man, Hashem formed these 22 aspects of your respiratory system. Hashem formed the lungs with its lobes. Okay, these are the wings of the serpent, like the serpent flying through the air in the midst of its boards. Its wings, the wings of the serpent being the lungs, and it provides for the heart. And the actual serpent, I asked Rabbeinu for clarification on this because I didn't really understand the sentence. And he went on to explain to me that the serpent is really your tongue, because you use your tongue to create life and death, to speak good or evil. That's the ultimate what do you call it? Procreator. It's like, that's what procreates. It's the yesod of the face, and your tongue is really the rudder of your life. I've once heard it said that way. It's the rudder, like on a boat. It's the rudder of your life. It directs your life, and you get to direct your inner serpent for good or bad. And you could castrate. This is what Rabbeinu told me, by withholding negative speech, gossip, slander, evil, whatever evil speech. By withholding it, you can think it, but you don't say it. By withholding it, you are castrating the tanin. The tanin got castrated. And this is tikkun. This is how you really bring tikkun into the world, by clarifying your speech, purifying your speech, castrating the serpent. Page 47. As with the chest that contains 25 bones, so too, in the location here, there are 25 aspects to the lungs. See, these, I won't read them, but these are the 25 aspects to the lungs, and they're shown above. Now I will expound the mystery at hand. Understand that in each of the spheros of Chachma is the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. Yud-Kei Vav-Kei is the value 26. The root of the skeletal structure is thus in the secret of 26. Chachma is bone, is whiteness, is Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, is 26. Those are all synonymous. You have to inter-apply them to understand the secret. You have to exchange them out, swap them out. So Chachma is whiteness, is bone, is Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, is 26. When applied with the principle of Im Kolel, which means you could add one up or one down in Gematria, we find that there are 27 bones to your hand, 25 bones in the chest, 26 bones in each foot. This is because the skeleton corresponds to Chachma in the world of Asiya. Okay? Skeleton, the whiteness, the bone, corresponds to the Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, Chachma of Asiya. And this Chachma of Asiya is rooted all the way back up the tree of life in the Chachma of Atzilus, containing the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei with its respective nikudim. Oh, I wanted to show you guys what the nikudim. I'm going to come out of here for a second just to show you the nikudim, what he's talking about, to remind you guys. Yeah. Okay, so there's nikudim that correspond to Atzilus, which is the kamatz and the patach, the sound and the sound. And then there's the tsere, the a sound, having to do with the world of Beria, of Bina. And then there's their anpin has 6 nikudim, segol, shava. I forgot what this is, the o. I forgot what it's called. Chirik, shuruk, the u sound, the e sound, and the u, another u. And then in Malchus, it's got no nikudim. It's like silent. It's got nothing of her own. She's got nothing of her own. So just keep this in mind as we're reading. Oh, shoot. Torah Mashiach. Okay, hold on. Okay. This is because the skeleton corresponds to Chachma in the world of Atzilus. Chachma is written in the Chachma of Atzilus, containing the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei with its respective nikudim. That's what we just saw, as it has been explained to you elsewhere. That was the elsewhere. Thus, we find that the supreme emanator, Matzah Baruch Hu, formed the skeleton according to the lights of Atzilus. He took the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei corresponding to Tiferet, right? Because Yud-Kei Vav-Kei lives in the sphere of Tiferet. That's the name of Hashem that lives there. And he formed the 25 bones of the chest, because Tiferet is your heart. Okay, so your heart is in your chest. So there's 25 bones in the chest. He then placed in Bina, the flesh. He placed the bones in the flesh. He brought in Bina. Bina is from the left side. It's the red, it's the flesh. And formed 25 muscles, which are red, which are fleshy. And he placed them together, the bones and inside the flesh. And together they formed the 12 pairs of ribs and the sternum. And also, and something I thought of as I was reading this, Doc, back me up on this if you're out there, Andrew. There are 12 pairs, so 12 times 2 is 24, but there's also a floating rib, something called a floating rib. There's a 25th. So Im Kolel, we get right back to the Yud-Kei Vav-Kei Gematria. The Supreme Emanator took the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, took his name, the name of Hashem from Tiferes, in Chesed and Gevura of Chachma. The Supreme Emanator took the Shem Yud-Kei Vav-Kei that was living in the Chesed and Gevura of Chachma with their respective Nikudim that we just saw a few minutes ago, and with these lights of Atzilus, of Chachma, form the hand of the Atik, which is the first emanation of Hashem, which is the 27 bones. What does it translate to in us? Down here in Asiya? The 27 bones in the hand of man. It's crazy. Look how many bones Hashem had to fit into a hand just to make it equal in Gematria to the Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. It's ridiculous. So crazy. Let me see if I blow that up, if I could read it. 27 bones in your hand, your wrist, your mid-carpal, your lunate, I cannot read this. Triquetrum, pisiform, the base of the metacarpal, the body of the metacarpal, the head of the metacarpal, the base of the phalanx of the hand, the body of the phalanx, the head of the phalanx, the interphalangeal joint, the scaphoid, the capitate, the trapezoid, the trapezium, the carpometacarpal joint, the hamate, the intermetacarpal joint, the metacarpal bone, metacarpophalangeal joint, proximal phalanx, middle phalanx, distal phalanx. He sealed these two with the 63 name, right? He sealed the bone in the flesh with the Yud-Hei Vav-Hei spelled with an Aleph. As was explained, these were the 27 bones, the whiteness, and the 34 muscles, the red, with one for each hand. These plus this is 63. Right? 61 plus 1 for each hand. And we get to the name of Hashem for Bina, because Hashem included the woman in the hand when he dressed the bone in the flesh. And he divided them. Here's our next point. He divided the hand as Hey, because Hey is Bina, is the female. Page 49. See the hand? Sheesh, look how complex, you guys. So much to learn from here. This is how Hashem wanted us to know him. Something of this is what Hashem is. We could start to fathom. Hashem wanted to be known. He didn't want faith or belief, as Rabbeinu always says. He wanted da'as. He wanted us to immutably, incontrovertibly. He wanted it to be evident what he is. He wanted us to look at our own hand and be like, oh, that's Hashem. This is the das of Hashem. Look at everyone else's hands and think the same thing. Hashem took the name Yud He Vav He of Netzach and Hod with their respective nikudim, vowel sounds, and with this light of Atzilus, he formed the hands and feet of the Atik, and then he formed our 26 bones. He smushed 26 bones into the feet of the man's skeleton. And think of the functionality of our hands and feet. How our hands are so precious to us. We can get nothing done without our hands. We can go nowhere and do nothing without our hands and feet. And the feet are the secret of Malchus, okay? The feet went down to Malchus, the 52 name, corresponding to Asiya. Whoa, I just got crazy deja vu. And so there are 52 bones in the lower hay. The lower hay is Malchus, which are the feet. And there's Hashem put 52 freaking bones in the feet. Hashem placed them in Bina. And there are 29 muscles, because muscles come from Bina. And this was the secret of return to thy mistress, which is Bina, and submit thyself under her hands, Yodeha. An example, putting the feet under the hands. In everybody's body, the feet are under the hands. You've never seen feet over the hands. The word her hands, Yodeha, has the gematria value of 29, okay? Corresponding to the 29 muscles. Her hands, 29. For she prepared the muscles for the feet of that man. Look at all that. Look at all those muscles. The Supreme Emanator took the name Chesed and Din of the Spheros, each containing 3 letters. Chesed is these 3 letters, Din is these 3 letters, and formed from these 3 letters the 3 bones, the humerus, radius, and ulna of each arm. He divided them and placed them in Ima, and she formed 24 muscles. She drew the muscles from the torso and connected the arms with it. She took 24 lights and spread them right and left, and from it formed the arms Zar-O. Thus the word arm contains Zer, because the arms were drawn from Tiferet, from Zer Anpin, Zar-O. The emanator took the name Gedula, and with it formed the 5 fingers of Chesed. Gedula is another way to say the Sphira of Chesed. So Hashem took the name Gedula and formed 5 fingers, because Gedula has 5 letters for Chesed on the right side, and this is Gadol Hey, the great 5, the 5 fingers on your right hand. And he took the name Gevura and did the same thing on the left. He formed it with it the left hand, and this is Gibor Hey, the mighty 5. And with it, he formed the 5 fingers of the left hand. He then took the letter Yud of each of the Yud Kei Vav Kei in these places and expanded it into Yad, or hand. And with it, he formed, Yad equals 14. And with it, he formed the 14 joints to the hand. 3 joints to each finger and 2 to the thumb, totaling 14 joints, totaling the sum of Yad. and he did the same with the Yad of Netzach and Hod, which is your foot, the hand of the leg, and formed 14 segments to the 5 toes. He took the Yud of Tiferes and expanded it and formed Yad, and he made 14 segments to the body. He took the Yud of Tiferes. There's a Yud everywhere. He took this Yud and made it yod again, creating 14 segments to the body. And what are they? These 14 segments of the body are the 3 segments of each arm, upper, lower, and hand. 3 segments of each leg, upper, lower, and foot. Torso and head, equaling 14 segments to the body, which he extracted from the yud to make it a yod, 14. And this is the diagram of that. This is the gadol hey, the yod and the yod. From the yud ke vav ke name, 27 bones to the hand. Wow. It's amazing when you start to understand these tikkunim. And it's the 26 bones to the feet. Wow. Wow. Now the Holy One gathered the waters. How you guys doing? Let me check on you. Everybody good? Hi, Miss Rosemary. Where is she? Hi, Alan. Hi, Sharon Worthington. Okay, let's go back. Now the Holy One gathered the waters into 2 places, and this is written, let the waters, which are Netzach and Hod, under the heavens, which is Tiferet, okay? So you think about it in your mind's eye, you have Netzach and Hod to the right and left, under the center column, Tiferet, be gathered into one place, also in the center column, Yesod, and let dry ground appear. From this pasuk we learn, from this pshat we learn that water is gathered into Yesod. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Because I just realized you have 2 ureters like draining into Yesod, 2 tubes, they're called ureters. And in the mouth, you have 2 salivary glands from the right and left cheek that exit from the cheek into the mouth. So you have the Netzach and Hod draining into Yesod, the channels. And so the Supreme Emanator gathered water, and the more you know the body, the more you see all the spheros reflected in the body. And so the Supreme Emanator, the Matzil Baruch Hu, gathered water into the Yesod of the man's face, which is his mouth. So we salivate and gathered water into the Yesod of the body, and so man urinates. And I realized, you guys, that you could not have a respectable rabbi. He's never going to get down and dirty and speaking about all these bodily functions and without blushing. You needed somebody like Yirahari who can just say it over and over again without any shame. Let's just talk about the body. You're never going to have a rabbi or a priest get up there and just declare all these about pee and poop and boogers and eye crust and urine. We needed urine to do it. Let the waters under the heavens, here's the tikkun. Let the waters under the heavens be gathered to one place, and let the dry ground appear. And in Yira doing it so shamelessly, him talking about all this stuff, it gave me the courage and the shamelessness also to be able to just speak it plainly, because we all have it and we all do it, and it'll be another way that we unite inside that commonality of our bodies. Okay, so let's get back. Let the waters under the heavens be gathered to one place, let the dry ground appear. Thus waters gathered to Yesod called one place, right? Yesod is one place here and one place here. Under the heavens, an example, Tiferet to the face refers to the nose. Okay, Tiferet, the nose is the Tiferet of your face, and the heart is the Tiferet of the body. Thus, the Yesod of the face is the mouth, and the Yesod of the body is the genitals. Thus, the mouth salivates and the body urinates. It is written of the 6th day, which is Yesod, because Yesod is the 6th Sphira. Let us make man after our image. Thus we find that man is made according to the image of his parents and emerged from Yesod. Oh, did I tell you guys? Yura told me this yesterday also, that just like we are products of three people getting together, your mother and your father and God. Your mother gave you your flesh, your father gave you your bones, and God gave you your neshama. So too, the Atik was formed by Chachma and Bina, Ima and Abba. And who gave the Atik his neshama? The Ein Sof Baruch Hu. That's what Yura told me yesterday. It was amazing. These like little one-liners that he says, I need days to recover from them, like days. It is written of the sixth day, which is Yesod, let us make man after our image. Thus we find that man is made according to the image of his parents. And we emerge from the Yesod, which is the reproductive organ, to be received by the same in the, i.e. the womb of its mother. Okay, so it emerges from the Yesod of the father to be received into the Yesod of its mother, where it is created by Elohim, which is its mother. So there are three that join. This is what made him tell me that when I asked him about this, I think. There are three that join to form man. The Father gives it the bones, the Mother gives it the flesh, and the Holy One gives it a soul. The spheres, wait, are we done? Let me see. Oh yeah, we're done. We're going to get into this next time. Okay, you guys, this was really fun today. Thank you for being here. So we could start really launching this energy into the world. All Hashem needs is like a foothold where we start doing this with each other. Everywhere you go, try to remember to see the tree of life in everybody's body, the letters, the Yud and the Yad, the Yud K Vav K, how Hashem wanted us to know him. And the only way we could know him is through this physicality, because it is universal and it is unchanging. And it is self-evident. May the lion continue to rise and rise and rise and rise. May Hashem guide his every footstep and protect him and Rose everywhere they go, and all the friends in Oregon, in Oregon. May the light grow and spread. May everybody in Israel and all around the world stay safe. May we bring down and anchor in, lock in the highest unity timeline for the glory of Hashem, for the kavod of Hashem, that his 22 letters and his 10 sfirot can be recognized one to the other all over the world. So we never hurt each other ever again. We never lay a finger on each other. We only love each other unconditionally, without fear, jealousy, rage, anger, bitterness. That we view each other through clean vessels, without the zuhama, without the sum of experiences tainting them, the crust of life that makes each experience born of the tainted prior ones, that we clear all that out, clear out the history, the browser history, as Aleph always says. And we come to each other, we come to Hashem with unconditional love and a pure heart. Hashem protect everybody in Israel. Highest timeline. Everybody stays alive, healthy and whole, comes back to their families intact. And let this be swift. Let this be quick. Let us see it hayom. Hayom. I love you guys. I'll see you. Have a good Shabbos. I will see you back on Monday. Mwah.